Most people think trading is a way to get rich quick, that you can just learn the system and start making money from your laptop. But what they don't realize is the sacrifices, the obsession, the years of trial and error, and relentless learning. Trading at this level, it's not for most people, and honestly, it probably shouldn't be. My name is Mark Anderson. I run a zero-DT hedge fund and have sold over $50 million in zero-DT premium. I'm making this video to share what it really looks like behind the scenes of trading options full-time and what it takes to get there. There's a lot of YouTubers, Discord backtest hero out there that sell the dream of trading, and that's all well and good. But there are realities and sacrifices to achieving that dream. And unlike other YouTubers of finance content creators, I have no course to sell you and no programs that I'm pitching. I do this simply to bring real-world conversations about options for those who want to grow their wealth and the different vehicles in which to do so. I wasn't born into finance. I was in construction, and I hated it. I loved details, but I had no control. A project could be delayed because of the rain. A whole day's work could be ruined by something completely out of my hands. And if I'm being perfectly honest, I was an angry and ambitious person in my early 20s. Obsession is a young man's game, so I started to look at something different. Like a lot of people who seek to leverage their capital, I started with real estate. It seemed like the most stable bet to make money, and I doubled down. In a few years, I owned 8 cash flowing rental units, and I was living with 2 other roommates to keep my costs as low as possible. But just because I choose a seemingly stable investment, I quickly learned after a series of unfortunate events that I was exposed to some serious concerns and risk and downsides of this. For reference, at the time I was living in San Francisco. My salary was about 150 grand, and I had 180 grand in tax deferred accounts, with 250 grand in savings and near $800,000 in equity in these rental units. With rentals and trading options, I was easily bringing in $15,000 a month in passive income. I was on top of the world. I did it all the right things. Fast forward to 2022. Russia invades Ukraine, the CPI spikes to over 8%, and mass layoffs hit the job market, including my position in construction, which sucked. But it wasn't a huge problem for me because all I needed to do was get that money out of my refi to get that 800 grand to trade options with, tax-free. Well, that refi fell through. Why? Because the bank looked at me as unlendable debt to income ratio. They refused to take into consideration the rent from the properties that I had, as well as my roommates offsetting my cost of living in San Francisco, that were basically paying my rent and mortgage for me. I was stuck. Then the market dropped and my stock portfolio took a 20% drawdown. On top of that, I had to evict a tenant, which of course was a lengthy and expensive process. And by the time they finally left, I discovered that the unit was infested with bedbugs. And get this, it had spread to all the other units. 7 of the 8 tenants had to be turned over in that short time frame, and the entire place needed to be renovated to prepare for new tenants, including the replacement of 6 ACs that went out this summer. All while I was on the hook for all of these mortgages with no tenants to help me offset this. This drained my 250 grand in savings within a few months. Now I'm unemployed in a terrible job market, and I'm underwater on my real estate. I had to liquidate my stock portfolio at the bottom of the market to cover my expenses. All of this happened in less than 10 months, and I had to figure out something fast. I was always aware of options because my dad had dabbled in them. So I grabbed my first options book I could find and listened to it 3 times in that week. I dove in headfirst. My schedule? Absolutely brutal. I woke up every day angry between 3 and 4 a.m. to study. I'd take every free moment to listen to podcasts while I was driving, anything I could do. I found Tasty Trade and watched every video I could. I joined Discords to learn from others, which by the way, I have some strong opinions about Discord groups now. I might make another video about it sometime. I even joined Zoom group calls to go over figures and technical analysis. Essentially, I was thinking about trading every waking moment that I had. I even found a remote job just to focus more on options trading with a different schedule based on the West Coast working hours, while I was figuring out how to pay off 20 grand in credit card debt and climb my way back up to having financial freedom. I could no longer afford to live in San Francisco, so I moved to Austin, Texas. I was Ubering at the time. And at that point, I was that annoying Uber driver telling everyone in the back seat that someday I was going to open my own hedge fund. I tested every strategy, doing over 1,000 backtests a day, and I failed over and over and over again until I found one thing that actually made sense: backtesting and systematically trading. Backtesting showed me what actually worked, not just theory, real historical data. Because of backtesting, I started building strategies that actually worked. My reward? I started waking up at just 5 a.m. and started my day with a workout instead of my normal 4 a.m. study routine. I was too broke to do anything else. As I progressed, I believed that I had found gold. I was living in congruence with my goals, and I had a good understanding of options that I felt confident in because of the sheer hours of work and research that I put in. And thanks to 0DT, I was getting so many repetitions each day and improving fast. And from there on, I got obsessed with automation. I knew that if I could remove emotions from trading, I could scale it into something real. This is where most people get it wrong. They think once you figure it out, it gets easier. It doesn't. The better you get, the more pressure there is. For reference, when I started, my well-being was the only thing at risk. Now I'm a steward for others, and it's a serious responsibility. There were days when I would wake up and literally vomit in the morning before the opening bell, because people's retirement and kids' college funds that I'm now protecting and growing. The key to success is adapting to the pressure. It's been 5 years of being singularly focused on options. Mastery comes from having the skill set to adapt quicker and see the landscape more clearly. I want to be clear, most people shouldn't do this. Even if you're just trading for yourself, the mental strain and the financial risk, the constant adaptation, it's brutal. And the market doesn't care how hard you work. It'll humble you fast. It only cares about results. The stock market is a device for transferring money from the impatient to the patient. Now, my life looks different. I wake up an hour or so before the market, I go for a nice walk, I check my systems and make sure my automation gets turned on when the market opens. Then I'll go to the gym, come back, go for another walk, make a healthy lunch, back test for an hour and a half. Then I take sales calls and work on videos. Effectively, it's a completely automated trade system, and I'm monetizing the business and getting bigger day by day. My life definitely feels like a luxury, but it came after significantly more than 10,000 hours to get to this point. And after years of grinding, I built a fully automated trading system, and now I focus on scaling it. I get it. A lot of people want to trade options. They want to make money from anywhere, but they don't realize what it actually takes to get to a high level. Most people would be better off working with a professional who already put those 10,000 plus hours in, who already built the systems, who already took the punches and learned the lessons the hard way. Because this isn't a game, and for most people, it's not the right path. Look, I'm not saying this to discourage you. I'm saying it to be real with you. If you're serious about trading, understand what it really takes. And if you're looking for a way to benefit from trading without going through all of this, there are smarter ways to do it. If you'd like more real-world insights into trading, I share backtest, perspectives, and mindset advice on this channel, so be sure to subscribe for more free content like this. Like I said at the beginning, I don't have any courses or newsletters to sell you. I create these videos because I want you to learn about the different vehicles to wealth, the ups, the downs, and the reality behind trading and growing your wealth. So please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.